There we go. Alright. Hopefully this thing doesn't fucking cavitate on my ass just like it's been doing for the past fucking 20 minutes. Fucking sit square, you pain in the ass. Alright. Oy. Fuck my life. Anyways. Morning. Pardon my heart palpitations. Anyways, I woke up this morning and was sitting there just fumbling through the screw tubes because why not? Yes, I woke up this morning, not last night, which is pretty sad. Because it means that I'm probably not going to be able to do this job for very much longer. My heart can't take it. Anyways, I was scrolling through the feed and I saw this one thing where it was like, it was a post by someone, I can't remember who. They said, remember that when you're feeling like, you know, you're so miserable, this, that, and the other, and you know, things are so bad for you that you're made of stardust. And apparently even stars make mistakes. I says to myself, well, shit. Apparently folks don't know anything. And so I had to sit back and says, you know what? I'm going to chutter to myself for about 10 minutes. And while I was chuttering to myself, I came upon a wild conclusion. Oh, other than soaking my pants with fucking coffee. Great. Awesome. That's just fucking wonderful. This is how my days have been starting for the past fucking 6-7 days. So, yeah, if I die tomorrow, just know it was my time. Fuck. My luck. So anyways, I was sitting there chuttering to myself and I came upon a grand conclusion. And that is that either God doesn't exist, you know, divine providence doesn't exist, or Hitler was a planned part of everything. So the evil is planned. It's part of, it's necessary. Think about that for a second. I want to blow your mind completely this morning. So you go into work and you're just like, fuck it, it's all part of the plan. Or, you know what? It doesn't matter. And everything's fucking random. So who the fuck knows? Because here's the reality of it. Oh, pardon my heart palpitations. Here's the reality of it. Hitler existed. He did a whole bunch of horrible shit. And if he's not planned, if he was not planned, then that means that, you know, randomly terrible shit happens. And there's nothing you can do about it. If he was planned by God or the universe or whatever you believe in, okay, then that means that everybody has a purpose. Wow. So if you're a Christian, you have to be able, I can't believe I'm saying this, The taste in my mouth is getting fucking sour, like I want to throw up. You have to be able to accept that pedophiles and fucking thieves and murderers and mass murdering dictators and all that shit, all those are planned. God. This is as distasteful as that is. It's something you have to accept. Because otherwise, if they are not planned, and God has a plan, right? If they are not planned, then that points out that there is no such thing as God's plan, which means that there is no such thing as God, because God is the plan, basically. This is one of those like mind-bending fuckeries that just keeps on blowing my mind. So, is what it is. But I just got to keep on reiterating. The shitbird that was Hitler was either not a mistake or there is no God. And that's one of those damn moments. You kind of just get stuck there like, wait a minute. Wow. See, this is why I think it no matter what anyone else thinks, Hitler and, the evils and atrocities of World War II were necessary for one reason. And I hate that it is the case, but you need to listen to me and hear me out. Oh, beyond this, you don't need to listen to this. Oh, my fucking brain. Yeah, I just snotted some out there. Anyways. So, this is something you need to accept being the case, because without Hitler and without the atrocities of what happened in World War II, whether it was Hitler, it was Japan, it was Russia, it was America, it was the Brits, it was, we could go down the list. There are atrocities on all sides. But anyways, I digress. If we look at the atrocities, we realize they were necessary because of what their outcome was. Look at today's modern age. Look at everything that you have. Everything that you enjoy. Everything that you consider to be modern living. Thermal cups, for that matter, so that you can keep your coffee hot and your hand cool. These things all come from the innovation that came out of World War II. That fun thing that's recording my voice so that you can hear it more clearly. Bluetooth. Wireless connection. Microwaves. All of that comes out of World War II. I've heard it said, oh, well, if human beings weren't so warlike, we'd go further. And I'm like, no, you don't fucking understand, do you? The reason why we are so advanced as a species is specifically because of war. If it wasn't for warfare, we would not enjoy the things that we do now. If it wasn't for warfare, there would be no knives, things that are necessary to cut through stuff so that you can, process food like meat or, for that matter, some types of vegetables. Believe it or don't, you can't bite through some of them. You need hard materials that have a sharp edge to be able to cut them apart to make them into smaller pieces that you could in turn boil and then eat. Wow, what a concept. Oh, man. Whoa. Anyways, so, like I said, there are certain necessities that come out of war. Like, for instance, a boogeyman. Someone for an entire populace to rally against. Now, do you understand why Hitler was necessary? This is why I don't hate evil people. I hate what they stand for. It has nothing to do with whether or not they are dastardly individuals. It has to do with the fact that they are necessary. What they do is necessary in order for us to rally against, to find a unifying reason to come together. Those of us who are more warlike than the others. We need a reason to mesh. God, the universe, whatever you believe in, the fucking flying spaghetti monster, whatever, has to put something in place for all of us to rally, group together to defend ourselves, to come together as a unit, as a cohesive whole. Human beings are naturally individualist. And before you say, oh, but no, we're not, we're social. Social and individualist can absolutely coexist. You can be a social creature and only be social with your family. That's still individualism. Let that blow your mind for a second. You can be a social creature, ants are included in this, and still be only community or only family orientated. Meaning that even though me and Hitler are both human beings, or, well, he's no longer a human being, he's a dead motherfucker, but anyways, we're both human beings. I would never go out and murder millions of Jews. That's just not my style. He signed off on that shit. We're both human beings. We are not part of the same social system. We are not both socializing with each other, kind of thing. I'm part of this group and he's part of this group. You dig what I'm saying? Same but different. You don't have to be political party fucking special to be individualist. You don't have to be political party special to be a social creature. But you can be. That's what I'm pointing out. Ants, for an example, highly social societies, highly social creatures. They don't get along with other ants of just a slight difference in special geography. You can have black ants from this side of the block and black ants from this side of the block, and they want to kill each other. What? It's true. They are social creatures, entirely social. They cannot exist individually. They lose their way. They lose their minds. They can't actually exist for much longer than a certain amount of period of time by themselves. They are more social than humans are. Yet, they're still warlike and individualist by their own society's nature. This is not rocket science. This is actually biology. But I digress. My point is that everything has its purpose. Everyone has their purpose. What that purpose is, even to be an NPC just existing so that, somebody else has somewhere to tread, it's still a reason to exist. So, in other words, you are not a mistake. No matter what you think, the universe does not make mistakes. Okay? The cosmos, God, whatever you want to call it, doesn't make mistakes. If you believe in sun worship or whatever, doesn't make mistakes. You exist for a reason. So I want you to do us all a favor. Put down the pistol. Today's not the day to blow your head off, brother. Put down the pistol. I don't know, put it on in your hip holster or whatever for your own protection, because you might need to. But you are not a mistake. God doesn't make mistakes. You're here for a reason. It might have already been completed, but that doesn't matter. You're still here, which means there's still a reason. Don't do the enemy any favors. You're not a mistake. You're not a fucking an oops. You're here for a fucking reason, even if you can't see it. Even if I can't see it. And that's saying some shit, because I can see Hitler's reason. Let that blow your fucking mind. I know why Hitler existed. I know why Unit 731 existed. I know why evil exists. Do you? Do you understand how you are not a mistake no matter what you do? No matter how you exist? No matter what you do in your life, you are not a mistake. Nothing in this world is a mistake. It's a learning experience. It has a reason for existence. Just like the stiction of glue has a reason for existence. The solventation of, solids in rubbing alcohol has a reason for existence. The same thing with you. You have a reason for existence. Some action you have, something you do is the intention of the universe. What you do creates that happenstance, that happenstance then is observed by the wider cosmos. That observation creates existence. So in other words, you have a reason. You're not a mistake. Nothing that you do is wrong. It might be poorly chosen. It might be a horrible idea and something that is really terrible to do, but it's not wrong. It's just very bad. Okay, but it's not wrong. It has a reason for being. Across the board. There's nothing wrong. There is right, there is reasonable, and there is unreasonable, and dastardly, but not wrong. Remember what, oh boy, from the Harry Potter series, the wand maker feller said that Voldemort was a great wizard. Terrible, yes, but great. The same applies here. Same logic. You could be an absolute horrible shitbag individual, but you're necessary. You could be one of the most amazing, heroic, awesome human beings on the planet. You're still necessary. That doesn't make you any less necessary than the bad guy. The bad guy's got to be there so that you can be a good guy. Duh! So, your existence is not a mistake. Let's be abundantly clear. And whatever you do it today, remember that in your day to day, in your today's instance and in the future. There is no way you could be a mistake. Nothing you do is wrong. It might be terrible, but nothing you do is wrong. You still have to make decisions, but those decisions were already foreseen long before you existed. Both outcomes exist until you make the decision. I choose to decide wisely. Some people don't, and they have to suffer the consequences. That being said, as I said before, even Hitler had a reason for being. Not saying it was a great reason. Not saying it was a good reason. But the reason was there. And it fulfilled its purpose. I want you to think about that in your everyday life now. As horrible as that thought is, as much as you might hate the fact that all of those people in the Holocaust died, horribly so, and I will freely admit that, Hitler still had a reason for being. Josef Mengele still had a reason for being. And as much as that's going to piss off a lot of the Jewish folks out there, they know I'm not lying here. Those people had a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. You're not a mistake. Y'all have a nice day. I'm out.